What's up, friends? Welcome to Web3 Academy, a place for entrepreneurs, creators, and marketers to explore and learn how to use Web3 to transform business models and create thriving communities. Enjoy this next episode.
GM, what's up? It is Web3 Academy. This is a deep dive. I am Jay Hamilton, your host today, and we're going to be deep diving into Web3 wallets, crypto wallets, Web3 wallets, maybe even just wallets if you're deep in the Web3 world. These wallets are quickly becoming a core piece of the Web3 ecosystem and have the potential to be much, much bigger than what they are today. And so we wanted to take a second to talk about that. One of our teammates over at Web3 Academy, Raul, has written an article called "Your Web3 Wallet is Your Identity." I couldn't agree more. It is going to be your identity. I'm not sure it's quite there yet. And Raul really breaks down why it's going to be your identity and what the future has in store. And so I'm going to read this article on today's podcast and add in a little bit of my own thoughts and flavor to give you an idea and learning of really what is a Web3 wallet, what are the benefits of a Web3 wallet. We're going to talk about interoperability, privacy, convenience, transparency, and then we're going to talk about a scenario of what the future might hold when our Web3 wallets really are our identity and what that can mean. So excited to jump in. Let's get right into it. We need to talk about wallets. We believe that Web3 wallets are going to become our identity. The place where we keep our money, credentials, art, and even our groceries receipts. It is also going to act as the portal to the World Wide Web, granting us access to all of our existing and future applications. It's going to take some time to achieve this, but we'll get there, that's for sure. So let's dive into what is a Web3 wallet, what are its benefits, and why will it become the means through which we express our identity. What is a Web3 wallet? First, let's just get some terminology here. So I might say Web3 wallet or crypto wallet. These words are interchangeable. I might even just say wallet. I certainly know that now I use the word wallet. And when I say wallet, I don't actually mean my physical wallet. I usually mean my MetaMask wallet. But let's talk about what are these things. So a Web3 wallet, also called a non-custodial wallet, is a decentralized wallet that allows you to store crypto assets and access Web3 applications. MetaMask, Coinbase Wallet, or Phantom are just a few examples of the existing Web3 wallets. Because of its size and popularity, MetaMask will be the one wallet that I refer to throughout this podcast. First of all, let's establish what non-custodial means. Think about your bank account for a second. So to keep your bank account safe and your assets safe, the bank keeps custody of your assets. A crypto wallet, on the other hand, doesn't have that option. It is up to you to manage and custody your assets in your wallet through securing your keys. The keys to your wallet are typically formed of 12 or 24 random words that grant you access to your wallet. In real life, to access your account, you need to go and ask permission from the bank. In crypto, on the other hand, you just access your assets through inserting your 12 or 24 word, which is often called your secret phrase or your seed phrase. So this secret phrase or seed phrase is the lock, the key to unlock access to your wallet. Now, one thing that's important to understand is there's different wallets that are available, different apps, different dApps. So there's a MetaMask wallet, there's a Coinbase wallet, Phantom, Argent, there's many different ones, Rainbow, there's so many, and more coming out. Now, the wallet is just this MetaMask or Coinbase. These are just an application through which you access your private keys on the blockchain. So in other words, you could use MetaMask and Coinbase Wallet, two different wallet applications, to access the same assets, because your assets are stored on the blockchain. And your seed phrase or your secret phrase is the key through which you access those assets in order to move them, trade them, transfer them, and do those types of things. Okay, so that's an important distinction to understand, is we have the application and then we have our assets. And what we do is we use these applications, MetaMask, to move around these assets. But the custody of these assets is ours. So nobody else has custody of these assets. And the reason we have custody of these assets is because they're held on the blockchain, and it is only our private keys that allow us to access those assets. So nobody else has custody of those assets. Nobody can take them away from you. Nobody can remove your ability to access them. They are purely yours. So the whole idea of this is to give you, the user, 100% power over your assets. Now, yes, this might be a little bit tricky, because handling your secret phrase or your seed phrase with great power comes great responsibility. So where do you store it? What if you lose it? Some people have to go to great extremes to keep their funds safe. For example, Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, has divided his 24-word seed phrase in 3 parts and stored each part in a different country. So whenever he needs access to his wallet, he has to travel to 3 countries before being granted access. So, storing of your private key or your seed phrase, it can be a real pain, but it's the price that we pay for freedom. It's the price that we pay in order to have full ownership, full custody of our assets. So what are the benefits of a crypto wallet? And there's many, many benefits. And many of these benefits are so new that we're still discovering them, right? We're still in that phase of innovating on this blockchain technology that, what are the benefits now are just the beginning. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, there's going to be benefits that we don't even know about and think about. So really, there's 4 main benefits: interoperability, privacy, convenience, and transparency. And let me walk through each one of those. So first is interoperability. If you're like me, you're tired of creating an account for each and every website. You got to create a new account. You got to create a new password. You got to remember that password. You got to manage it in a password management way. Or what you might do is you might use login with Gmail or login with Facebook. And basically, these Gmail or Google and Facebook invented these login for the precise reason to make it simpler, to improve the user experience of you logging into multiple sites. So you don't have to remember multiple passwords, because it's a royal pain in the ass, right? Well, similarly, crypto wallets or Web3 wallets aim to solve this in the exact same way. So you will be able to access websites by just using your MetaMask or whatever wallet you use. This is very much seen when you go to a website, it says connect wallet, right? So you can connect your wallet, and then you can access certain functionality on that website because you have connected your wallet. So you can access DeFi, Curve, Aave. You can access decentralized exchanges, Uniswap, SushiSwap. You can access NFT marketplaces, OpenSea, LooksRare, and so much more without needing to create any additional accounts apart from your one MetaMask wallet. Right now, there are limited existing applications that are using this connect function, but new protocols are being built every day, and this will only continue, right? And so we believe that really in the not so distant future, we'll be able to log in with MetaMask or the other wallet to a lot more applications than are currently available. One example of this is social media. So currently we have multiple social media accounts. You have your Twitter account, your Facebook account, your Instagram account. I guess Facebook and Instagram is the same account, but you have, multiple. Oh, actually, no, they're not. They're different. They're different logins. So you have multiple social media accounts. Well, wouldn't it be nice to have only one social media login? Well, Lens protocol is a protocol that is being built to be the social graph on which we build Web3 social media. And essentially with Lens, you log in, you connect with your wallet, and by connecting with your wallet, you can access your social graph across any of these platforms. So I can log into, if there was a Web3 version of Twitter, I could log into Twitter and I could see, and similarly, if there was a Web3 version of YouTube, I could log into Twitter and I could see my followers from YouTube, or see my followers, or see the videos that I like, and it would all be interoperable. So a big part of what these wallets unlock is this interoperability, where I can take my relationships, I can take my fans and my followers and my content, I have ownership over it all, and I can easily take it across all of these platforms. Second benefit, privacy. A crypto wallet represents you, but keeps you anonymous behind a public address. All of your activity is transparent on the blockchain, but your identity is visible only for those you choose. So you do not need to submit any personal information for creating a crypto wallet. It's a big, big thing. Right now, if you want to create a bank account and store assets in a bank account, you need to give them all of your personal information. You need to KYC. You do not have to do that with decentralized wallets. There are some centralized wallets that require you to do that, but those are not arguably part of the Web3 movement. Second of all, the problem with the existing technologies, so looking at Facebook and Google, is data manipulation. So big tech corporations run on the business model of gathering our data and then selling it to the highest bidder. So theoretically, a crypto wallet allows you to access any application without the need of submitting personal information like race, color, age, or sex. This would increase the level of privacy, something that is growing in demand dramatically. That said, everything in your MetaMask wallet is on a public ledger. So there is some debate between how private this will end up being. Tools like Disco XYZ aim to merge on-chain and off-chain data, so our identity and data can be as private as we want it to be in Web3. And I recommend you check out our podcast from a few weeks ago with Evan McMullen, the CEO of Disco, to learn more about on-chain and off-chain identity. But essentially, what happens with your wallet, with your crypto wallet, is that all your assets are stored on-chain, and anybody can look them up using your public key. So if they know your public key, they can look up your assets. Now, it doesn't mean that they know who you are, though. It's still anonymous, right? So what that allows is it allows transparency to the activities that you take on chain, the activities you take with your assets, but you're still anonymous because nobody knows who you are behind that wallet address. So it's a new way of looking at privacy, in the sense it puts privacy back in the user's hands, and you can decide how much, do you want to buy an ENS domain? And if you purchase an ENS domain, so I own jhamilton.eth, and then what I've done is I have attached jhamilton.eth to one of my wallet addresses, one of my public keys. So now anybody can go look at jhamilton.eth and they can see the NFTs I own, they can see the assets I have in that wallet, but only in that wallet. I have other wallets, which I do not share the public keys for those wallets. So nobody knows that I own those wallets, but they can see, again, they can see the assets, they can see the transactions just with anonymity of the ownership of those. Third benefit to your crypto wallet is convenience. There's massive convenience that comes here. Imagine if you could replace all your current accounts, your bank, your email, all your online logins. Oh my gosh, hundreds and hundreds of accounts with one wallet. And unlike it being, log in with Facebook or log in with Gmail, which in that case, you're giving up a lot of data to Facebook or to Gmail, which then they sell for ads. Imagine if you could do it where you can use your crypto wallet as your login and you own the assets, you own that ID. So you'd have all your funds on that wallet. You'd be able to log into any social media account with that wallet, no more need for passwords, and you'd be able to access crypto products. You'd be able to apply for jobs in universities with that wallet, and you'd be able to store all your achievements in that wallet. Like, wouldn't that be so convenient? So let's explore this a little bit further, because it's just truly incredible how much of our identity, and not just our digital identity, also our IRL identity, we can store in these wallets because of the technology of blockchain. So a couple different use cases and examples. One is all funds in the same place. So a crypto wallet allows us to keep our stable coins and our crypto in the same place safely, without any limitations, without any worry of government seizure, because you own your private keys to that wallet. So if you're in a country, I live in Canada, fairly safe in terms of government control. But let's say you live in China, where the government control is very strong, and they will seize your assets if they believe that you are in bad standing with the government's viewpoints and with their communist regime. So you have to be safe. Well, if you had your assets with a bank account and then your government seized them, that would be, I can't even imagine that level of insertion into personal freedom and personal rights is beyond anything I can understand. So what we're doing here is we're allowing people in countries like that to have control of their assets. And now the government cannot seize your assets. The government is not able, in no way can the government access those. Recently, or maybe not recently, but about 6 months ago in Canada, there was a protest against COVID regulations. The government was pushing down a lot of COVID regulations and restrictions on our citizens, and people were not happy about it. And so there was large protests, and by all means, protests allow us to have our freedom of speech and to be part of, sharing our views on how our societies should be run. Now, what the Canadian government did was they didn't like these protests. And in a bold move, they sought to seize the assets of some of the leaders of these protests. And these protests, some of these leaders were using crypto. And so they approached a decentralized exchange here in Canada and said, hey, you have to give us the information of all of the people that have assets on your exchange. And this exchange, in a very famous tweet, went back to the government and said, not only are we not able to do that, we don't have that information. We don't have the age, the gender, the location of the career, we don't have that information about these people, because that's not part of crypto, right? So there's a big unlock here in terms of personal freedom and personal rights, which is huge. And of course, when you have your crypto wallet, your Web3 wallet, and you have all your funds in one place, you then can much easier to go spend that money, right? You don't have to worry about, think about how we transfer money right now between countries and how challenging that is. Well, if you have all your assets in a crypto wallet, borders are gone, right? You don't have to worry about borders, and you can easily transfer money to somebody in a different country. You can pay for a good in a different country without worrying about currency exchange, without worrying about how to figure out how to get assets from one country to another. So big unlock around owning all your assets and having it all in one place. You can log in anywhere. I've talked about this before above, but for reference, in Sweden, Raul has lived in Sweden for much of his life. And he says that every citizen has an application called Bank ID, which allows you to log in to any financial institution. If you want to pay your bills, access your bank account, or take a loan, you need to approve every move with your Bank ID. Similarly, that's how a crypto wallet works. Further benefits are that the wallet allows you to log in on any social media or online websites as well. Well, not quite yet, but we're headed towards that reality. And it looks like Twitter will implement this first. In the meantime, we'll use Lens Protocol. Shout out to Lens Protocol, amazing social media graph protocol that's rebuilding social media, as I mentioned before. You can apply for jobs and keep your achievements. So I think this is a really big part of the unlock of like how your crypto wallet is going to be your identity. Isn't it a hassle to keep track of all your completed courses, degrees, diplomas, and then to verify them for an employer to verify those things? So difficult. Well, with a crypto wallet, you can theoretically receive a token as an NFT that will prove your completion of certain duties, like a LinkedIn course or even a university degree. With this NFT, you can apply for a job using your wallet to log in, and the employer will automatically see your achievements and credentials. To take it one step further, employers could gate their applications to only those who hold a specific credentialed NFT. So for example, truck drivers who have their trucker's driving license, or servers who have their smart serve license. Only they can apply for certain jobs. So now as an employer, you don't have to worry about like reference checks and figuring that out. Like you just use the Connect with wallet. The wallet verifies that they have certain credentials that you require for your job, and boom, like seamless, huge unlock for employers and for hiring practices. In real life, diplomas are much easier to fake than NFTs, not to mention NFTs have the ability to be programmable, whereas your paper diploma does not. Once your paper diploma is printed, it is just that forever. And it's not to say that an NFT, you can't change the smart contract. So you can't change the diploma itself, but it's programmable in the sense of you would be able to program that, oh, in the future, somebody who has that NFT is now verified for this new job. So we start a new career or a new job. Well, because you have that NFT, you're verified that, because we can program that into that NFT. So this will ensure trustworthiness, and it also will make the application way smoother, fewer clicks, removing the need for reviews and physical submissions of documents. All that would be replaced by smart contracts. Fourth reason why the crypto wallet is such a benefit is transparency. Because a crypto wallet is connected to a blockchain, all of its transactions are tracked, stored, and made visible for everyone. However, you could see someone else's record if you knew their wallet address or ENS name. This seems unreal, but it was really proven when everyone could see Luna's transactions, like APA, like basically when they were panic selling their Bitcoin, everybody could watch what Luna was doing. And same with Celsius wallet, which was almost liquidated, and Optimism's failed transaction, which resulted in a massive hack. Everybody could see these things publicly. You could see this. So think about what that does for transparency of large organizations. Right now, these large organizations or governments, if they have failures, we have no idea about them because it's all private information. It's all private data. But on the blockchain, there's transparency, so we can see what is happening, which leads to, there's both good and bad side of that, But I think we all agree that transparency leads to a better society because it forces more responsibility, right? You might say, oh, I don't want transparency, which is totally fair. And there will be ways that the blockchain will enable you to not be transparent with all of your assets and all of the pieces of your identity. But at the same time, transparency does lead to more responsibility, more civic responsibility. If there's transparency, then you're going to act differently than if you can do so privately. So I think this is really positive. The other point that Raul makes here, which is hilarious, is that you're going to be able to flex. So right now, people flex with showing off their watches, their cars, and Gary Vee predicts that in the future, people will start flexing with their wallet addresses. This is just so funny because you think about, if you make your public address known, it'll let everybody see what NFTs you hold or how much money you have. There's no need for you to buy a car and drive around to show your friends and show off. You can just send them your public address. You can think about this in terms of collectors showing off their collections. Or if you want to remain humble, you don't have to share your public address with anybody. So the choice is up to you, right? So again, transparency exists within the blockchain in the sense that everybody can see the transactions that are happening with a certain address. But whether you decide to connect that public address to your name or whether you decide to keep it anonymous is up to you. And so there's a key distinction there. Let's imagine a scenario. You're a website developer and you just created a complex website for a big company. For your services, you received 100,000 paid in USDT, a stablecoin, to your MetaMask wallet. First of all, you need to pay your fair share to the government. So you go to your government's tax agency, you log in with MetaMask and pay 20% that you owe through making a few clicks and approving the transaction from your phone. Boom, your taxes taken out from this money that you made. Simply, quickly, immutably, wow, what a powerful unlock. Obviously, this is not a current case, but we can imagine this in the future. Then you think about your future, and so you'd like to invest some of that money into cryptocurrency. So you go ahead and you buy 10,000 worth of Ethereum and 10,000 worth of Bitcoin on Uniswap, where again, you logged in and approved these transactions using your MetaMask. So you didn't have to contact a bank or use a fintech app or transfer this money between different places, which would take weeks, right? You think about you made some money and then you want to go invest that money. You've got to have multiple steps to transfer it into a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange. You got to wait for it to be approved in there, and your bank's got to send it to them. There's transaction fees along the way, and then you can invest it. But with a crypto wallet, it might not be quite instantaneous, but it is essentially instantaneous. The ability to move these assets around and to do different things with them. Now you have $60,000 left. You decide to move to Spain, where let's say I decide to move to Spain. I want to be a barista for the summer, but I realize that I don't speak Spanish, and nor can I make latte art. I definitely cannot make latte art. So I go ahead and I sign up for a Spanish course and a barista course, for which I pay in USDT using my MetaMask wallet. Upon completion, I receive 2 NFTs, my barista NFT and my Spanish course NFT. Now I go to my government's website, I log in with my MetaMask, and I let them know that I'm moving to Spain for 2 months to make sure that I do not pay taxes in 2 different countries. This is obviously getting deep into tax laws, and they're very different for each country. So some listeners might say that's not true. It very much depends upon where you live, how you would pay your taxes based upon your residency versus your travel. Now I pack my bags, I buy a flight ticket, again, using my MetaMask wallet to Spain. And upon arrival, I apply for a job at a coffee shop in the center of Madrid. And I show them my 2 completed courses in the form of my NFT. They check the blockchain. They acknowledge that I'm skilled enough to work there. I have my NFT and latte art, and boom, I get hired for the job, and they don't have to worry about confirming, am I skilled? Do I speak Spanish? They can just look at the blockchain and confirm these things. So because of all these benefits, in conclusion here, because of all these benefits named above, we really believe that your crypto wallet has the potential of becoming your identity, right? It's not just your money assets, it's so much more. This scenario, obviously, that we've been discussing is going to take, years, if not decades, before it becomes reality. And unfortunately, big tech and some governments will likely stall innovation and adoption because this is bad news for them. They rely mostly on owning and manipulating our data and money, something they'll lose control of thanks to Web3 tools. Saying that is worth mentioning that those who won't adapt will get disrupted, just like what happened with the rise of the internet. So adapt or die. For now, I'll use my wallet to store my digital belongings and access Web3 applications, but I can't wait for the day when I can apply for a job or apply for a university degree or apply for a credit for a line of credit or apply for a loan, all these things using my wallet, which controls my identity. There's the article. Thanks so much, Raul, for sharing that with us. If you want to learn more about this, check out the foundational course that we have. It's called the Web3 Rabbit Hole. The link will be in the show notes. It is a 1.5 hour lecture series, 3-part, really the prerequisite to Web3 and blockchain technology. To understand this stuff at its core level could not be more important for anybody, whether you're building Web3 or whether you're just getting into the space or whether you've been in the space for a year. So important. I've watched this course a few times because it's just so important to remember the foundations of the tech that we are building that is allowing us to change the world in terms of ownership and permission and interoperability and composability, all these things. What do those words mean? Well, watch the Rabbit Hole course. Thanks again for listening. Everybody have a fantastic day. Practice gratitude. Keep smiling. I love you all. Have a good one. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Web3 Academy. We hope this helps you along your Web3 journey. And if it does, please share this episode and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. By the way, if you've yet to join the Discord community, you are missing out. This is where all the magic happens. This is where we learn, where we ask questions, where we network. You want to be in there. The link to join is in the description below. And finally, a quick disclaimer. Nothing in this podcast was financial advice. Crypto and Web3 can be risky. You can literally lose it all. In fact, if you invest on account of what we say, you probably will lose it all. So don't do that. In all honesty, the point of this podcast is to remove the noise of markets and price and focus on utility and implementation anyway. So you should not take any of this as financial advice. Thank you, friends, and see you in the next one.